These are 5 wood chipper brands like DR Power and Troy-Bilt quietly robbing weekend homeowners of their hard-earned money, and 5 brands that actually deserve a spot in your garage. If you've ever stood in a big box store staring at a wall of chippers wondering which one won't betray you on the first gnarly oak branch, this is the video you need. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. There is no such thing as an inexpensive wood chipper. The ones that initially appear to be cheap aren't worth using. That's not my opinion. That's the hard-won wisdom of homeowners who've burned through 2 or 3 machines before learning the lesson. A decent homeowner chipper runs anywhere from $500 to $2,500, and the market is projected to blow past $400 million by the early 2030s. Everyone wants one. Not everyone gets a good one. We'll cover the brands robbing you first, then at the 5-minute mark we get into the 5 brands actually worth your money. Let's talk about who's taking your money first. Brand number 1 on the robbery list. DR Power Equipment. DR Power is owned by Generac, a name you probably associate with generators. Their chippers look professional. They feel substantial, and they cost between $900 and $3,800 depending on the model. But here's what the marketing doesn't show you. In September 2023, the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a recall on roughly 5,900 DR Power chipper shredders. The hazard? Pieces of metal coming loose from inside the housing and being ejected at the operator. Hoppers detaching unexpectedly, 79 reports of parts coming loose, 2 injuries from metal ejection, 3 reports of hoppers just falling off, including one that caused an abrasion. These were machines sold from 2019 through 2023. And the customer service situation hasn't improved since. As recently as November 2025, homeowners filed BBB complaints about broken welds on critical parts and warranty replacements that never arrived. 3 different estimated shipping dates from 3 different representatives. No resolution. One buyer put it perfectly. I purchased this second-hand thinking by spending a bit more I would get a more capable machine. This thing is not what I imagined it to be. DR Power charges a premium but doesn't deliver premium reliability or premium support. Brand number 2. Cheap electric models under $100. I'm not going to name every fly-by-night brand here because they change names faster than you can return them. But the pattern is always the same. You see a chipper on a marketplace for $60 or $80. The listing says it handles 2-inch branches and you think you're getting a deal. You're not. One owner described his budget electric McCulloch as, and I quote, a garbage disposal on steroids. Would not recommend. These machines can shred dry leaves. That's about it. If you feed them an actual branch, they stall, jam, or simply vibrate in protest. At this price point, you're not buying a chipper. You're buying a future landfill contribution. Brand number 3. Current Craftsman chipper models. Craftsman used to mean something. Today their chipper shredder vacuum sits at a dismal 2.5 stars out of 5. 13 out of 19 reviewers gave it 3 stars or lower. That's not a mixed reception. That's a warning sign written in bright red ink. The Craftsman name now lives under the Stanley Black & Decker umbrella. And while their hand tools are still fine, their outdoor power equipment has not kept pace. Brand number 4, modern Troy-Bilt. And this one hurts because the old Troy-Bilt machines were legendary. The original Tomahawk and Super Tomahawk chipper shredders were designed by W.W. Grinder Company, acquired by Gardenway around 1980 and built like tanks. One owner still runs a unit with original W.W. Grinder decals and a 4-horsepower Tecumseh motor. Over 20 years of reliable service, but Gardenway went under around the year 2000 and MTD bought the Troy-Bilt name. The new machines are stamped metal instead of cast, machine assembled instead of hand assembled, significantly lighter and significantly less durable. One owner of a Troy-Bilt 47,282 called it a beast, but said it was literally vibrating itself apart. And here's the final insult. MTD does not make parts for the older high-quality machines. The Troy-Bilt name survives. The Troy-Bilt quality does not. Brand number 5, cheap imports with inflated capacity claims. This is an industry-wide problem, but it's worst among no-name Chinese manufacturers. They'll stamp 3-inch capacity on a machine with an 8 horsepower engine. For context, professional brush chippers from Moorbark or Bandit Industries handle 12 inches and up, powered by dedicated commercial engines. That's the benchmark. So when a no-name import claims 3-inch disc chipper capacity on an 8 horsepower engine, professionals who've run those Moorbark drum chippers look at those claims and laugh. In real-world testing, most of these budget chippers bog down well before their advertised maximum. You're not getting what the box promises, you're getting frustration and a jammed feed chute. Now let's talk about the 5 brands actually worth your money. Worth it brand number 1, Super Handy. Their Ultra Duty Mini Wood Chipper earned a perfect 10 out of 10 score across more than 3,600 reviews. A 7 horsepower engine handles branches up to 3 inches in the side chute. You get 2 replaceable disc chipper blades, 4 cutting hammers, a 15:1 reduction ratio, and a steel frame that resists rust even after years of heavy use. Quality chippers like this one produce chips in the 1/2 inch to 1 inch range, the ideal size for mulching garden beds and boosting moisture retention. It ships with a nylon outfeed catch bag, which is a small detail that saves you real cleanup time. All of this at a price point that undercuts most competitors with similar specs. For the weekend homeowner who wants one machine that just works, this is the answer. Worth it brand number 2, Wallenstein. If you own a tractor with a PTO, Wallenstein is the name you need to know. Built by Mennonite craftsmen in Ontario, Canada, these chippers are described by owners with words like dead reliable and extremely robust with top-notch welds. The BX42 model gets particular praise. No belts to adjust, easy knife maintenance, and here's a design detail that matters more than you'd think. Wallenstein uses a rectangular feed opening instead of a square one, which means you can feed significantly larger material, including branches with awkward limb stubs. Simple engineering, massive practical benefit. Worth it brand number 3, Harbor Freight's Predator Chipper. At $600, this is the budget king, and it's not budget in the way those electrics priced under $100 are budget. Over 2,800 buyers have weighed in with a 4.3-star average. The 6.5 horsepower engine is essentially a clone of a 1990s Honda design, which means parts are cheap, plentiful, and well documented across hundreds of YouTube repair videos. Now, honest caveat, the advertised 3-inch capacity is optimistic. It performs best on branches up to 2 inches, and wet material can cause issues. But if you set realistic expectations, this machine punches far above its price class. Worth it brand number 4, Earthquake Taz. Made by Artisan in Cumberland, Wisconsin, actually manufactured in America, not just assembled here from imported parts. The K32 chips branches up to 3 inches with genuine authority, devouring maple, oak, and other hardwoods with ease. The K33 model delivers nearly 18% more torque than competing gas chippers in its class. Taz machines meet ANSI B71.6 safety standards, which is the certification that actually means something when you're feeding material into a spinning disc at high speed. Look for that certification on any chipper you consider. Taz is a consumer brand, meaning they design for people who need to afford their equipment, not just admire it. High customer satisfaction backs that up. Worth it brand number 5, Sun Joe. If you have a small yard, neighbors close by, and your biggest challenge is twigs and light branches under 2 inches, the Sun Joe 15 amp electric is your machine. It handles material up to 1.7 inches with a 21:1 reduction ratio, runs quietly, produces 0 emissions, and has both forward and reverse motor settings to clear jams safely. If you're in California, also check that any gas chipper you consider carries CARB compliance certification. The Sun Joe electric sidesteps the issue entirely. It won't replace a gas chipper for heavy work, it's not trying to. For what it does it well. And it does it for around $100 to $200. Here's the bottom line. Sharp chipper blades reduce fuel consumption by up to 15%. Chipper produce mulch. That 1/2 inch to 1 inch chip output can contribute to landscaping improvements that boost property values by 15%. The right machine pays for itself. The wrong one just takes your money and your weekend. Remember, the most expensive model isn't necessarily the best one for you. Match the machine to your actual property, your actual trees, and your actual budget. And if you only chip once or twice a year, honestly consider renting a diesel-powered unit that could eat utility poles and skip the ownership headache entirely. Buy smart, chip safe, and never trust a capacity rating printed on the box.